Seniors, there will be a mandatory senior meeting on Tuesday, September 27th and Wednesday, September 28th during 5th period in the Salter Theater. Tuesday is for last names A through K, and Wednesday is for L to Z. On Tuesday the 27th, A through K will report to the Salter Theater, and on Wednesday the 28th, L through Z. We're going to be talking about college apps. How exciting. But worry not, fellow anxious kids. Some fun things will be discussed too, like cap and gown sizing, yearbook stuff, and dates of exciting senior activities. Learn how to finesse the system. Learn all you can. The world is our oyster. Viva la senioritis! And now to Noelle with more news.
Thanks, Bennett. A month has come and gone, and as many of us have probably noticed, classes are getting a bit harder. If you are finding yourself in need of some academic help, well, you're in luck. Peer tutoring will be taking place Tuesdays and Wednesdays during lunch in the College Center. There you can receive help from fellow students dedicated to tutoring with no prior arrangement necessary. We have a great group of kids that can help you in any subject, so don't be shy. For any questions about peer tutoring, contact Cindy Dubin at cdubin@bhusd.org. And now, back to you, Bennett, with some more news.
Thanks, Noelle. California is in its 5th year of consecutive drought. Not just drought, it's severe. Keep that in mind while you lollygag in the shower. The DWP has installed fake grass in lieu of their real grass, allegedly to reduce water consumption. However, it's been found that their water flow, specifically their sprinkler systems, have not slowed down. The water flow was so excessive that it flowed into the sidewalk and down the street. Richard Harrisick, the director of water operations of the DWP, said, "We're really just trying to wash out the dog pee." And now to Adam with health news.
Thanks, Bennett. Juan Martín del Potro, the tennis player, has had 5 wrist surgeries now, and he hadn't played tennis for 3 years until he beat my fellow Brit Andy Murray in 5 sets. He has quickly risen his game to the level he was playing when he won the US Open. He's not shown any problems with his wrist or any other injuries, even though he just came back into tennis. Still wonder how he's not got injured yet. Maybe his wrist was never injured. Maybe he just wanted a nice 3-year holiday. And now to Eva with more health news.
Thanks, Adam. The 15th Summer Paralympic Games closing ceremony was held last Sunday after 2 weeks of competition in Rio de Janeiro. For the first time ever, there is a device inside all 2,642 medals that use tiny steel balls to make a sound when they are shaken, allowing visually impaired athletes to identify which type they won. The bronze medals have 16 steel balls and make the lowest sound. The silver ones have 20 and the gold have 28, producing the loudest noise. All of the medals also have the words Rio 2016 Paralympic Games written on them in Braille, and also feature engraved images of seeds meant to represent courage, persistence, and the development of athletes. And now to Jake and Austin with sports news.
Hello everyone, I am Jake Urbani here with my fellow bowtie brother, Thomas Goolsby. Thomas, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Jake?
I'm good, thank you for asking.
Yeah, man.
Well, Thomas, you play video games?
Yeah.
Who are we kidding? We're teenage guys, come on.
Everyone plays video games.
Okay, but the new video games, 2K17,
2K.
FIFA 17,
Yeah.
what do you think about them?
Well, 2K looks great. Just came out. Really
Graphics,
nice.
talk about the graphics. The graphics are unreal.
Amazing. It's crazy. And FIFA, they got their My Player mode going now,
yeah.
the career.
The new
you
career.
actually get to start with the younger leagues maybe and move up as you go, and it's pretty cool.
And I heard in 2K you start in high school.
In high school.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, high school. They're trying to make it like more realistic, I guess, for
Well,
players.
Madden also came out, so
Yeah.
why don't you
Madden, they got to be doing the My Player next. I think if I get the chance, I'll probably be playing for the LA Rams.
And I have a story about that, so let me get to
Let's
it.
get to it.
Thanks, Thomas. That's it, LA fans. Your LA Rams just got their first win this past Saturday against the Seattle Seahawks, with a fan expectancy of 93,000 fans coming into the Coliseum with high hopes for their new team. The Rams defeated the Seahawks 9-3. Catch our next game September 25th against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now back to Thomas with more sports news.
Thanks, Jake. Exciting weekend for college football this weekend. Number 1 Alabama had a shaky win against number 19, now ranked number 23, Ole Miss. Strong Heisman candidate Lamar Jackson, star quarterback for the number 3 ranked Louisville Cardinals, continued his amazing year, scoring 5 touchdowns against the formerly ranked number 2 in the nation, now ranked 13, Florida State Seminoles. Lamar Jackson is averaging 6 touchdowns a game this season as his team looks to dominate the college football world. The polls this year have had a lot of change. My favorite school, Georgia, started at number 18, then bounced to 9, then to 16, and now is placed at 12 for this upcoming week. You could say it's been quite an exciting year for football, and we're just 3 weeks in. And now to Jake with more sports news.
Thanks, Thomas. In America's Game of the Week, the Dallas Cowboys faced off against the Washington Redskins. Losing their home opener, the Cowboys won this game 27-23. A forgetful performance, though, from rookie running back Ezekiel Elliott, who fumbled the ball twice and was benched the entire fourth quarter. Now let's send it to Ben with news on entertainment.
Thanks, Jake, and happy birthday. 12-year-old America's Got Talent winner Grace Vanderwall has won $1 million and a headlining spot in Las Vegas, but is most excited that she's one step closer to getting her dream treehouse. Yeah, that's right. Tween singer-songwriter is spending her million on a treehouse to get her on Pete Nelson's Treehouse Masters show. Quote, I want to go on Treehouse Masters and I want to get a treehouse. She was congratulated by Pete Nelson himself and Reese Witherspoon on Twitter. But not only that, the young ukulele player was dubbed the next Taylor Swift, but is ironically a big fan of Katy Perry. Teese was his frenemy. She has a long career ahead of her, but until that takes off, her controversial win will be celebrated with a treehouse. Because what else would you do with that much money? Now to Andre with music news.
Thank you, Ben. Tickets for a Justin Timberlake show that was scheduled over 2 years ago sold out in less than an hour. The singer will lead the lineup of intimate concert series from radio station Capital FM, which will see many other renowned artists from across the globe perform for a small public. Tickets went on sale on the 8 a.m. on the 15th of September, and fans were disappointed when no more tickets were available shortly before the first hour mark of them being sold. To those who were lucky enough to buy the tickets, they will have an amazing opportunity to see the artist up close and personal. The Crimea River star performs at London's Indigo at the O2 on October 3rd. And now back to Ben with our movie review.
Thanks, Andre. With an astounding 100% Rotten Tomatoes review, Bridget Jones's Baby set the bar high when it was released on September 16th. This movie is set in London, England, and is about Bridget Jones, who is played by Renee Zellweger, and her divorce with Mark Darcy, portrayed by Colin Firth. They're left over 40 and single again. Bridget's love life bursts back to life after she meets a handsome American named Jack, who's played by Patrick Dempsey. Life was great until Bridget takes a pregnancy test. The rest of the movie is about Bridget trying to solve the mystery of who the father of her baby is. The film is rated R and is in theaters right now. So...
Dear Diary, it's sort of a funny story. A few months ago, I met Jack.
So it lasted 6 hours?
What lasted 6 hours?
A puppet show that Auntie Bridge went to.
Still a lot I don't know about him.
Well, how much do you need to know? He has a pretty nice-sized puppet.
And then the next week...
Give her a little kiss, on the forehead there. What's talking about the baby?
Mark, my ex, and I had similar relations. Mr. Darcy. But I can't go back and keep making same mistakes. I'm pregnant when I can make new ones.
So you have no idea which of us is the father?
Surely one of those dates is more likely.
They're both equally likely. So do bring along the father if you can work out which one he is.
For better or worse, fate has brought us together.
Both of you, stop it!
Brought you an iced tea.
Thank you.
I brought you a super juice.
Oh.
Let me carry that for you.
Thank you.
Can I carry your phone? Bridget, who do you want to be the father?
I don't know.
It's like the final of the X Factor. Dial 01 if you wanted to be Mark, and 02 if you wanted to be Jack. In my mind, I'm running round a
Are you in love with him?
I have been. In the past.
And me?
I could be. One day.
How do you orchestrate such cliffhangers in your life?
This is not how I thought this would be. But however we choose to do this, the most important thing is that, baby, you're the best thing I've ever seen.
Good God, Bridget, you're immense.
This is a two-man job.
Please! Don't drop her!
Which of you is the father?
I am.
Right.
And who do we have here? I'm Bridget, and this is Jack, and this is Mark. Lovely. You're our second same-sex couple today.
What's up, Andre?
That was a nice trailer.
It was a nice trailer.
I'm excited. I'm really excited.
We should watch it together actually this
Yes.
weekend, because I really think it's a big problem that some people might be going through.
Right.
And
yeah.
anyway,
It's an important movie.
now to America's Got Talent. What do you think on the 12-year-old winning? I mean, she was against an older couple who many people wanted to win.
He's 12 years old.
And
How
she,
could
yeah,
that
she was
happen?
very young, even though she was very talented, and many people don't agree. But anyway,
I thought it was really cool. I thought that the kid deserved it, and I mean, he's young and he has a lot of stuff to do yet, but it was a really nice win, and he deserved it for sure.
right, she did. And now to Layla with World News.
Thanks, Ben. Recently, Oklahoma prison officials discovered an escape hatch along with 18 cell phones, 87 phone chargers, 39 syringes, marijuana, and methamphetamine, a stimulant that can be used to treat ADHD and aid in weight loss. All this inside the state's halfway house. A halfway house is a shelter in which those of criminal, mental, physical, or emotional disabilities are housed to learn a variety of skills so that they can reintegrate back into society. The pathway that the prisoners had created was in order to escape and had been made by the removal of the dry wall and the construction of a false wall. On Friday, when the discovery was made, the ODC, or Oklahoma Department of Corrections, were searching for weapons. The department says that the inmates would check in with security and then escape through the hatch. The shelter currently holds prisoners who are nearing the end of their sentence. And now to Leo with more World News.
Thanks, Layla. In this week's World News, massive riots in southern India have just closed with a violent state intervention, and a relative calm has been restored to the city of Bangalore. Protests began earlier this week over a water sharing deal within the city. Bangalore does contain 2 rivers, however, they contain sewage, and the nearest river available for drinking water is more than 10 miles away from the city. As the riots ensued, highways were destroyed, explosions reduced buildings to rubble, and casualties occurred as massive crowds clashed. Citizens fought employees and other workers who represented the shortage of water. The Indian government was forced to deploy a staggering amount of paramilitary force, which were forced to fire shots in an ongoing effort to disperse the crowd. One man was killed as he was trampled while attempting to flee from a group of local law enforcement officers. India is experiencing one of the harshest monsoon seasons it has had in decades. Rivers run dry and the water is split between the farms and the civilians' drinking water. With no new improvements in the system, government officials speculate that these riots are the first of many to come. And now to Alex with even more World News.
Thanks, Leo. President Obama recently emphasized the issue of climate change. Even though climate change might not be the top 1 priority for most people, it is one major pivotal point in determining the future. Because if most of the ice cap melts, which is already happening, major cities such as Venice, Hong Kong, Buenos Aires, and many more cities would be covered by water, forcing not millions but billions of people living on the attracting coast to relocate. That would cost trillions of dollars to operate such a massive and global trend. Therefore, President Obama tries his best at reducing and slowing down climate change, as he views his endeavors toward that goal as his long-term legacy. It might seem far from now, yet the decisions we take each day ultimately will be reflected in the future. Indeed, scientists predict that if nothing slows down climate change, much of the ice caps will have melted by 2015. And now to Yasmin with oddities.
Thanks, Alex. A recent case in Austria might have parents rethinking their next Facebook post of their children. An 18-year-old woman is suing her parents for posting 500 images of her on Facebook without her consent. The photos, which included images of her on the toilet and even naked, were shared with her parents' 700 Facebook friends. The woman had repeatedly asked her parents to remove the photos in the past, but to no avail. When she turned 18, she was officially allowed to take legal action. The woman is seeking financial compensation and wants the photos to be removed from Facebook. According to the woman's lawyer, she has a good chance of winning. The Austria case will go to court in November, and if she wins, maybe I'll sue my parents for not liking my Instagram pictures. And now to Sophia with fashion news.
Thanks, Yasmin. As New York Fashion Week comes to an end, some designers are trying to go out with a bang. In the Christopher Kane Spring-Summer 2017 collection fashion show, Crocs have made their runway debut. You remember Crocs, right? These were the multicolored clogs that we all wore in 2007, but were seemingly banished by 2009 with the exception of a few daring people. Well, Christopher Kane, the notorious avant-garde designer, has decided to bring them back and make them better than before. Crocs' normally dull colors have been redesigned by Kane in a variety of marble hues and shiny finishes, studded with an assortment of stone studs. So, run to your local Crocs store because before you know it, these may be sold out. And now to Austin with news on tech.
Thanks, Sophia. When Apple unveiled its new iPhone 7 last week, Senior Vice President of Hardware Engineering, Phil Schiller, called the device's camera one of the most advanced ever put in a smartphone. One of the first cell phones with a camera was the Nokia 7650, released in 2002. At the time, Nokia said the technology was going to usher in the multimedia messaging era. In comparison, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7, which launched last month, has a processor similar to that found in a laptop computer and has 853,000 times as much data storage space as Nokia 7650. Software isn't the only factor in improving cameras in smartphones. For example, the earliest phone cameras lacked the ability to focus. Now, smartphones can alter the position of lens slightly using tiny motors, and can also provide a wider variety of depths of field and better autofocus capabilities. Apple's imaging capability is pretty awesome, Sackle said, but it's not just that the iPhone 6 can produce these beautiful images. Other smartphone cameras can kick out a fab image as well. Now to Michael with more tech news.
Thanks, Austin. The Canadian firm D-Wave continues the development of their quantum computers. Although tech companies have barely scratched the surface of quantum systems, D-Wave is promising some new insights. If you don't know what a quantum computer is, it's a computer that doesn't use normal transistors and does not compute on zeros and ones, but instead processes qubits, which use the properties of quantum entanglement and superposition, which allows the computers to compute zeros and ones at the same time. This allows computers to perform optimizations which normal computers can't perform. The company is not the only one making quantum computers. Google and NASA are collaborating on making D-Wave systems as well. These new developments promise a bright future with faster, stronger, and more efficient technologies. And now to Ben and Layla with hopefully less confusing restaurant review.
Hey Layla, what's up?
Hey Ben.
So there's this new, it's not new actually, but it's a Mediterranean place on Melrose called Shefa, and it's such a good place, and I want you to hear about it.
Really? Tell me about your favorite dish there.
So they have, on their menu, they have a wide variety of Mediterranean foods. They have like burgers, and they have shawarma, laffa wraps, and everything. And my favorite dish actually is their burgers, because no one can make it just the way that they do. And because it's kosher, the meat is prepared in a different way. Their fries are to die for.
What's a signature dish that pretty much everyone goes to get there?
You know, that's hard to say, but since I have to think about that, so I'll get back to you on that. And now to Austin with some thoughts on Jack in the Box.
Thanks. I think there should be a Jack in the Box planted right in the middle of Rodeo Drive. Believe it or not, but there are a lot of homeless people in Beverly Hills. So they can come here and have their meals off of the money that they do have. Plus, if you're cheap like me and also like tasty, hearty food, Jack in the Box is for you. Some people say, oh, it'll ruin Cheesecake Factory, Il Forneo, and the grills on the alley's business. But who cares? This adds color, spaz, and most importantly, taste to Beverly Hills that has never been seen before. Now back to Noelle with some more news.
Thanks, Austin. For any of you Spanish speakers out there, the Spanish Club is now up and running. The first meeting was this past Tuesday, but that doesn't mean it's too late to join. Meetings are to take place in Mr. Pajotto's cottage, room V23, on Tuesdays. In the club, you can learn about Spanish culture, cuisine, music, festivities, and more. And if you're feeling a bit shaky on your Spanish skills, don't worry about it. The club is open to students of all levels. If you need any clarifications about the club, contact the club organizers, Sophia and Camilla, at bhclubespanol@gmail.com. Let's send it back to Bennett with some more news.
Thanks, Noel. Trouble in Beverly Hills. The city will have to pay upwards of $9,000 in legal fees. The suit, filed by journalist Russell Carollo for the release of alleged domestic abuse records by Beverly Hills Mayor John Marish. The city paid Carollo over $9,000 in legal fees and also released the unredacted records of the incident. And now to Shannon with this week's weather report.
Hi, my name's Shannon Benyamin, and you're watching this week's weekly forecast. On Friday, it'll be sunny with a high of 78 degrees and a low of 62 degrees. On Saturday, it'll be partly cloudy with a high of 79 degrees and a low of 63. On Sunday, it'll be sunny with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 64. On Monday, it'll be sunny with a high of 84 as well, with a low of 63 degrees. On Tuesday, it'll be sunny with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 64 degrees. On Wednesday, it'll be sunny with a high of 82 and a low of 64 degrees. And on Thursday and Friday, it'll also be sunny with a high of 83 degrees and a low of 65 on Thursday and a low of 64 on Friday. That's it for this week's weekly forecast. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's all for this week.
Tune in next week for more Norman News.